Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is a game War in the Pacific, Admirals Edition. This is my play by email match against KilRoy. He is the commander of the Allied forces and for me it is the Empire of Japan. This is scenario 1 and we have no modifications. This is now already 12th April, so nearly reached the middle of this month. And the Japanese, they won't have more any amphibious assault bonus, so every upcoming battles and invasions are now for both sides equally slow to unload. We also see there's my carriers and my second invasion fleet going for Marcus Island. And a half dozen American submarines trying to intercept my incoming ships and maybe find my carriers in worst case. But so far always missing. Now KilRoy have here some French destroyer and some support stuff. Attacking, bombarding here my base force. I was able to bring in a base force to Gisborne for the future to unload additionally more stuff, supplies, units, whatever, and maybe also build up a airfield. But I don't want to invest too much because I hope to take Auckland, and once I have Auckland I don't need normal Gisborne more. But the handicap is, or my limitation is simply I don't have supplies. I also don't have any units left, more or less. I'm really at the edge of every supply lines. And especially because KilRoy kicking and striking over the Central Pacific, it's very hard for me to really focus for this. My subs trying to intercept destroyers, but of course this is not so easy. So no direct Navy engagement, air war. My second carrier fleet in the Indian Ocean also have to return to Singapore after the not so successful strike against Ceylon. And bad weather in China always slow me down. So for support of this second invasion I try again with my carriers. Some ground attack, losing some, one by killed directly and maybe some others by damage, ops losses, and the damage is just so. It is something, and it gives fatigue of course against American units. It will help me, and all of these war assets are at the end only assets. You must use them in the right direction and for the right cause. And not only keep them, even if it looks shiny, if you have 100 top pilots and 1000 airplanes, but this will not win you a war. You must strike, and if you strike you always lose some equipment. So this is all very standard, sometimes with the success, and depending on the weather and the units and the terrain, not always. At least I can get some skill points and experience. So I try to damage airfield of Rangoon, but I must fly 20,000 to avoid the heavy flak of the British, or at least try to avoid as best as possible the heavy flak. If I completely want to avoid it, I think I must fly 25,000 high. But this will give additional fatigue for my pilots. Everything over 20,000 is more tiresome for the pilots. Good, the SP3s are still coming, and I have here, not much, but at least something, and it's enough to get rid of these SP3s. And you saw that there was some Catalinas scouting for Saipan, so this means KilRoy have, I think, an airbase in Pegan. These are now this. New Zealand bombers trying to slow down my advance. Okay. So the morning was very standard. All of this blue means always scout yourself or regard it like wrong information, so you can normally ignore it. If you detect your own fleet, then it's you already know that there's something. You always know your own ships 100%. There's nothing like you lost your direction or something like this. So my tanks driving source catching up this aviation support unit, and it's retreat. Still not defeated. Not sure what is inside, but more bombardment of Rangoon in combination with my airstrikes. But this have this time no effect. The Allies trying to bombard my Marcus Island troops. I take this empty base. And this was all. Okay. Good. So there was no air war. Nothing really big happened. So losses are limited. 3 SB3s killed over China, and I lost some of my Navy bombers against flak or consumed by this activity, and additionally also some light bombers, transport airplanes, and so on and so on. But nothing really too important. Ship sunk, there was no hit on both sides, so also no sinking sound, everything is fine. China, no change, the front line is static. I try to bring in now slowly my northern army. I split it up. I think I will have a northern army going for Sinning, and then maybe the Mongolia, and the second bigger army will go for Sichuan. Good. Yeah, I still must wait at the Thai force, but this needs long time. But I really don't know if I can scratch any other forces. I just bring in, I think, some base forces and aviation support to have you maybe in the future a better, more air, close air support. But I don't need to run any airstrikes against Rangoon, not against the ground troops. This will not. The flag is simply too strong, and I have simply no real big good target I can attack here, so I don't really bring in air force now. It will only consume additional supplies, and I have already problems with supply situation. Darwin still going down. I'm not sure if maybe KilRoy have his second defense line. We will see. Maybe only a short look here at Perth. I was able to bring in some smaller cruiser formation, and there are battleships looking here, maybe waiting if there's any ally incoming or outgoing convoy. New Caledonian and Fiji, only submarines. New Zealand, I have no ships, I have no supplies, so I have nothing more I can bring in. The supplies I have are all here. And yeah, all my units arrive now in Hamilton. And it's not really enough to feed. I mean, I can feed all of my units, have now at least the minimum, plus I think 50%, maybe more. Some units have exactly the required supplies, and others they have a little over 50%, I think. But I can only make 2 or 3 attack, I think, and this is all. If I cannot take Auckland in 2 or 3 strikes, I must bring in more. The question is really how I can get it. In Suva I have only 10,000, this is too little to ship out. No, Maya I have 10,000 also. There's no additional supplies here. I need supplies, but all my supplies, yeah, I have still some in Rabaul I can maybe ship out. But from Rabaul I must feed also all my other secondary bases. Marshall Islands looks not active. Wake Island have still enemy destroyers. And Pagan, Saipan looks so far empty, but I also see not everything. And I'm not more sure what I did. My submarines are here. My Navy Guard units are here. Maybe I was waiting for additional forces to come in. The Port Dolboat only to check. This is only give me early warning against enemy carriers. Not sure. I have maybe the battleships are coming. I don't know more. But I have now everything in this hex, and I can normally choose now to make this amphibious landing with additional troops. Carriers are here to protect me, and battleships to give bombardment support. So when I still see no enemy task forces, so I have maybe still time. We will see next time. Take care. Bye bye.